Hey folks, welcome to another video here on the 67 Mustang channel. Now, if you're paying attention, you may notice there's no Mustang behind me, and I'm not sitting in my garage. Well, that's because we're in a different location. So, if you look around, you may see some things that look familiar. Go back to some of my very first videos when we first got the Mustang running. I'm actually back down at my dad's house. So I had intended on putting out a video about doing the weather stripping on the doors for the Mustang. I actually got started on that the other day. Got the weather stripping on the driver's side pulled off, and then found some more issues. Found some rust and things we'll have to talk about later. But I also got a call from my dad. He was having problems with his vehicle back here. It's a GMC Acadia 2014. So he was saying that the temperature gauge wasn't functioning, that it would stay at the bottom end, it would never come up. The check engine light was coming on, and so I have a code reader, I plugged it in, and I got the code. I'll have to try to look up the code. I don't remember what it was. It was like a P0119, something like that. Anyway, it turned out that is an indication that the coolant temperature sensor in here is going bad. So, Dad needed help. Here I am. I'm going to try to help him. Even though I'm not a mechanic, they think because I can work on a 67 Mustang, I can work on things like that. I don't know. Anyway, we'll give it a shot. We'll bring you in here and take a look and see what we've got to deal with. So let's bring you over and take a look. Okay, we're going to go in here and take a look now. First off, I'm going to apologize for all the noise. We got somebody using a yard blower, leaf blower, and then we've got, of course, birds all over the place here. So anyway, so get down here. The thing I'm looking at replacing, if you can see it, so just on the other side of the dipstick here, maybe you can see it right there where my finger is, I'm not sure, but that is the temperature sensor right there. So what we've got to do is try to get in there. The few things I've checked out say it's easier if we start getting stuff out of our way. So we're going to start with taking off this decorative cover, which is pretty simple. You undo the oil fill, and then that just pops out, and then we'll see what else we've got underneath here to get out of the way. Okay, so you can see I got that protective or decorative, I don't know what it, cover off, and so now we're in here, and I started unhooking some things to try to make that down here. See if you can see it. I don't know. The glare's pretty bad. Let's pull that out. That down there a bit more accessible. I went ahead and disconnected the plugs to the coil packs. I think that's what those are, as well as to the, I guess, the throttle body sensor. I don't know what that is. Like that thing. I've also worked on getting this harness, which had clips on there, a little bit looser, so I've got more wiggle room in there. This is actually the harness that is connected to. So now I've got to try to get that little metal sleeve off of there. It's pretty tight down in here. Certainly not as nice and easy to work on as the Mustang. Okay, so now let's see what I can do to get down there and get that out. Okay, so we got everything out of the way now. Got that shield out, heat shield. So if you see down there, there's the clip. And there's a tab above that red or brown part, so I gotta grab that and then push down that tab to get that off. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do that, so I'm gonna give it a shot, see if I can follow some suggestions I saw on YouTube and see what we can do. Okay, so we've gotten the old sensor out. Here it is. Couple of things to note on this. First off, a standard, reach across here, 19 millimeter socket. Deep socket does not work. You can't get it on because of this part. It narrows. So I had to go and buy a deeper deep socket that would allow that to go all the way in. Right, so keep that in mind if you're ever changing one of these coolant temperature sensors on a GMC or a Chevy. or a Saturn or a whatever other government motors products are out there. So I've got the old one out. I've got the new one here. A couple of things else to note. I'm actually going to probably bring you in here with my phone because I'm not sure you can get down in there close enough to see what I'm talking about in here. So yeah, let me do that and we'll keep on going. Okay, so getting back in here. So this here is the connector for that sensor. You can see the shield that goes around. You have to pull that up to get to it. But the thing is, when it's down in the car, right, it's pointing down. All you can really see is this red, brown, whatever color you want to call that. There. What you have to do is push or pull that out while you're pushing down on the black tab right there. So since you got to push down and pull, what I ended up getting to do that was this really long pair of needle noses and push and pull at the same time. I saw somebody else used a pair of needle noses to grab the red or brown thing and then was able to push down on the tab with his finger to get it out. I couldn't get in there to do that with all this junk in the way. So anyway, now we're going to go try to put the new sensor in. That's got to go in. Let's see if we can see the hole down there. If I flip the camera around, I'll see better. Oops, sorry if I'm getting everybody dizzy. Oh, there it is. So that hole right down there. So we got a lot of room to get down in there and get to it. So yay, this should be fun. So here we go. Okay, so you can see we got the new one in there, right next to the dipstick. Now, I gotta figure out how to get the clip back on there. By the way, don't torque the living daylights out of that thing. It actually came out really easy. I didn't have to put a lot of pressure on pulling that out, so it was good. I also did put some Teflon tape around the threads on that. Don't know if it's needed. The original one didn't have one, but I like to put that on stuff, so I did. So now I gotta figure out how to get the connector down on that little booger. Okay folks, so I don't know if you can see it, but we got it back down in there finally. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of torque. It's pretty easy to get out. Again, I want to reiterate the need for a deeper than normal 19 millimeter socket. This one here I picked up at Advanced Auto, worked perfectly fine, came up pretty easy. The next problem I had was getting the connector back on there. I'll try to pull a picture and try to show you, but there's two sides on that connector that slide over tabs on the sensor itself, and one side or one tab on the side of the sensor is tapered, and that's where the clip goes over. That brown red clip thing goes over that, and then the other one's just a straight tab that the other side of the sensor will slide, or the connector will slide over. That was a pain trying to get down there and make sure it was faced the right way, because your hands just, you know, there's not a lot of room down in here to get, right? So do that. So now with that in and connected, also a couple of other things. I made sure that I put the oil fill cap back on. I know I don't have the dipstick in, but I was trying to keep trash and stuff from getting down in there. So that's a good thing. Also, you cannot do this if this engine is hot. You're going to be working right next to that exhaust. So you don't want to burn yourself. So make sure if you're going to do this, you give plenty of time for the car to cool down. So anyway, now I've got some connections to make back. So I've got the ones here that go back to the coil packs. I think that's what those are called. I've already reconnected the one that was up here on, it's not throttle body. I don't know what that sensor is, but whatever that one is right here at the top of the engine. I've got that one. I think that's it, really, for connections. And then I got to put the pretty thing back on, but I'm going to test the engine first before I do that. See what happens. Okay, let's get some of these back in here. They should be pretty easy to snap in. There's one. There's two. Okay, make sure I don't have anything else disconnected. that. I'm not going to put the cover on. Now let's crank her up and see what happens, shall we? And here we go with the crank. Okay. Oops, let's turn that. There we go. Okay, no engine light coming on. She cranked up. Now we're going to wait and let her run a little bit and see if the temperature comes up on her. Okay, so she's been running for not too long, but we can see the gauge, temperature gauge is starting to come up off of the bottom mark, slowly coming up where she's like she's supposed to. So I think we're going to call this a success. I think we've done her good. So we'll finish buttoning her up and close it out. Well, there we go. Successfully got my dad's SUV back up and running. Got that temperature sensor swapped out. It wasn't easy. Certainly not as easy as it is on the 67 Mustang to get that done. So again, sorry it's not a Mustang video, and really sorry that it has to be a GM product. You know, I'm a Ford guy. I'm really surprised I didn't burst into flames working on this thing. But anyway, we got it done. My dad's very happy. I feel good because I know he's got a safe vehicle once again to drive. So with that, I hope you liked it. Again, I know it's not a Mustang video, but you gotta do what you gotta do for family, right? So with that, again, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Please leave comments in the area below. There we go. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, don't forget our merch store and our discount code 200 subs that we've got going on. So, and I added those new graphics about old car life and classic car life options. So you got more than just a Mustang. So if you're not a Mustang person, don't want a Mustang shirt, check those out. You might like them. So with that, guys, really enjoyed it. Hope y'all have too, and I'll see y'all in the next video.